We've got the CEO of the Golden Triangle Development Link. That's Max Higgins. And we're also joined by Dr. Julie Jordan, a VP for Research and Economic Development at Mississippi State University. Max, Dr. Jordan, thanks for joining us here on Middays.
You are so welcome. Happy to be here.
This is such an impressive facility. I was fortunate to get the personal guided tour from Dr. Campbell earlier today, and wow, just got to tell you, blown away. This is the model, Dr. Jordan, that we should be replicating across the state, if not across the country.
Absolutely. I think this is a showplace, and it demonstrates what partnerships do and how valuable partnerships are to regional development. I think as a large institution of higher education, it's our job. It's part of my title to do economic development. And this partnership exemplifies the focus and the effort that Mississippi State has on serving not only Starkville, Mississippi, but the region in North Mississippi and the entire state. Mississippi State is a land-grant institution, which means for the layman out there, it means that our job is to serve the entire state of Mississippi. And a lot of people don't realize we actually have extension offices in every county in the state of Mississippi. So it's natural for us to play a large role in our home region. No doubt.
You know, Dr. Jordan, it seems like that for so long, I mean, really for decades, that there's just been this gap. This disconnect between the private sector and the academic community, in particular the higher ed community. And this really is an example of how we bridge that gap and how we integrate those parties. The goal and the object of a higher education is to prepare students to enter the workforce and to produce for society. We're not doing them any good if we're just teaching them in the classroom. They come out and say, okay, what do I do now? And they're jobless, and they're stuck with a lot of debt typically as well as a result of that. And that's what we're seeing here.
Certainly. In the background here at the Communiversity, with Aurora and PACCAR, the truck sitting here and the aircraft sitting here, Mississippi State has partnerships with those doing research. We have students working in there in internship positions and co-op positions, and the relationships are centered around the economic development opportunity here at the Communiversity, with the link, with all of the regional partners, and it's those relationships that make this work.
No doubt about it. Max, I got to tell you, as you know, I were talking before we came on, you know, I have been honored to be part of the Madison County Economic Development Authority. Your close friend and colleague, Joey Deason, our executive director down there. I'm jealous, okay? I'm jealous of this facility and this partnership you guys going. This is a tremendous asset in your efforts, is it not?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we had this dream several years ago. Before people started talking about workforce being an Achilles heel, we sat down and said we've got to do something different than most people. We had Dr. Mac Patera. We had a guy named Bill Fruth that was a consultant that was working for us. And we came up, Fruth coined the name, the Communiversity, Community College University Partnership, where they could collaborate, where they could do things that we could benefit ourselves. And then we went out and got the money. And, Lieutenant Governor Reeves now was instrumental in getting us $18 million of the cost of this. And then the boards of supervisors of the three counties put $13.5 in. And then we got some federal money from Mr. Nunley and Senator Cochran, about another $10 million. So it took us a couple of years to do that, then plan, program, get it designed, and now we're using it.
Do you provide tours to prospective companies looking at coming in the area? What kind of reaction do you get?
Well, we do, and maybe here in a little bit we're going to talk to a new company that's announced coming today. Okay. But I will tell you that I know of, when we were recruiting them, they toured this facility 3 separate times.
Wow.
And not only said, hey, can we use this for training for the new facility that we're talking about building, but can we bring some of our existing employees here and train them? And so that speaks a little bit about what they saw.
Yeah. And Dr. Jordan, what employers know is that when they have a trained, qualified workforce, that flows right to the bottom line, because that's what drives productivity.
It does, and some of the things that Mississippi State can bring directly to this Communiversity is we partner with a lot of grants. And so when you walk around those labs, some of the things that you see with what we call now collaborative robots and sort of state-of-the-art automated robotic conveyor systems are the kinds of things that the engineers that at Mississippi State University can partner with the training and the facilities and the industry partners all to co-locate that type of research and hands-on training experience that takes place right here at the Communiversity.
And it's really not positioned to be an absolute replacement for the traditional classroom instruction and education. It's more of a supplement.
It supplements, it augments, it gives students a chance to get out of the classroom and touch and do things.
Yeah.
And I think that applied training that we do here at the East Miss and the Communiversity, and that applied work that we do at Mississippi State makes our graduates extraordinarily valuable and desired by the industries in this area. The partnership that we have with that's just getting off the ground in the last year or so, I kind of want to share. We call it the Bachelor's of Applied Science. So for the first time ever, students that graduate with technical degrees from East Miss Community College can flow straight over into Mississippi State University and get a bachelor's degree, and all of those credits will transfer.
Yeah.
First of its kind in the state, and we think that's another game changer that we can use to promote and attract more industries and more growth and development for the region.
It just feels like, Dr. Jordan, that the days of the more traditional, what I call the linear type degree and linear instruction, it's going away.
Yeah, they're called pathways now. There are multiple what we call on-ramps and off-ramps for somebody's training in their career. They can start in high school now with the career and tech programs. They can come here. They can go to work along the way and then hop back into that training to get that next level of degree. And our role, I think, is in education, in secondary and post-secondary education, is to make sure that's easy for that individual to do and retool themselves consistently throughout their career.
Yeah, and that's important to employers too, because they're looking for specific types of people with specific skill sets. They just want to hire them, put them to work. They want to pay them.
That's it. I mean, I told I have 3 sons, and I told them when they all ended up going to East Miss, and then we all went to Mississippi State. And I said, the reason you're going to college is to get a job, so I don't care what you major in, as long as whatever you do when you get out, you can get a job. And so, that's why we're here. It's about getting a job, and we're proud to be a part of this facility. And Joe Max's dream, and that they had a few years ago to stand this up, is now really coming to fruition. I think COVID slowed it down when it had to open during COVID, but we are beginning to see huge opportunities develop.
Yeah, and the other thing that I hope it does as well, Dr. Jordan, I'm sure you share my passion for this as well. We got to keep people in the state. It does us no good to provide them with this world-class education, because we got fantastic institutions in our state, not just the higher ed, but the community colleges as well. But when they take off upon graduation, we're essentially subsidizing the other states is what we're doing.
Yeah, we do, but then at the same time we get there, so there's a lot of back and forth, but it is a chicken and egg thing, and we are constantly trying to make sure that we are attracting students and finding ways to connect them with the jobs that are in Mississippi. A lot of times our kids don't, even think about getting a job in Mississippi.
That's true.
And we're trying to be better at that, I think, in all of our institutions across the state, to make sure that our students know that these jobs are available.
Yeah, like we're seeing at the job fair today.
The job fair today is really important. We try to make sure that we create chances for employers to get to campus, to get a chance to talk direct with kids. Kids these days are making they're making career decisions. They're making that job decision as early as sophomore years a lot of times.
Right.
It's no longer, if a company's trying to hire somebody, they can't wait they're not recruiting seniors.
Right.
They need to start recruiting at freshman and sophomore stage, because those kids are making decisions.
Yeah.
And particularly those that are in high demand areas. We're trying to expand internship programs. We're trying to create ways for students to have, now a result of COVID is a lot more companies are offering virtual internships.
Yep.
So we can create internship opportunities for students. They don't have to leave Starkville. They can stay in the community and have that Starkville, large campus experience with all of their friends, but get a job and intern. And hopefully, if they can continue to work remote, they can still live here as well and contribute to the communities.
Well, it's an awesome example of collaboration between the academic community, the public sector, and the private sector, and you guys really ought to be proud. This is indeed a gem for the state of Mississippi. Dr. Jordan, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
You are welcome.
Joe Max, we're going to be back with you. We got a special guest joining us with a big announcement, right?
We do.
Middays is at the Communiversity, East Mississippi Community College, Communiversity. We'll be right back with that announcement. Stay with us.